It's been a long as day, you're exhausted to the bone, and you've only got like 2 brain cells working together. You realise that you still have so much work that you need to get done after school or after work. All you want to do is to jump in bed and chill and scroll and not do anything at all. How do people even do it? I am a junior doctor and I have pretty crazy long shifts, like a 90-hour week for example this week, and I still manage to get everything I want to do done. How do I do it? Stay tuned and follow these 5 steps to get shit done after a very long day. Look, the biggest root of the problem to not being able to do work after a long day is actually lack of motivation. For the most part, when you do get started, like, it's actually not too bad to get the work done. These hacks specifically I'm going to talk to you about will help you get over that hump. Step number 1 is to pre-schedule your week, so having a routine, as well as set your goals. It's so important to have a routine that you set during the day. Things that you can't negotiate with yourself, like going straight to the gym after work or after school, so then you have to do it and you don't really give yourself any leeway, because if you hit home and you end up on the couch, you're not going to get up and go to the gym. So instead of relying on motivation, you'll actually just have to do it because you've got a routine and you stick to it. And the same goes for scheduling time in for meal times, for meal preps, and also schedule in your relaxation time, your rest time, and the most important bit is to schedule in your sleep time. Then you've got a really realistic picture of what your day is going to look like. Besides setting a routine for the day, it's actually really important to set some goals for the whole week, to have a bigger picture of what you want to get done in a week. So for me, I would be pre-scheduling my whole week ahead a Sunday night, thinking of which goals that I want to hit. So setting those weekly goals or even a quarterly goal, so that you see the bigger picture and you can then go in and schedule each day depending on how busy you are. During my med school days, I would say that, okay, so for this whole week, I want to make sure that I finish the whole topic on general medicine. This includes doing like exam papers, reading the textbook, reading lecture slides, and doing the flashcards. So all of that have to be done during this week, because next week I have to focus on general surgery. So this makes you super accountable, and it banks in on you actually finishing this whole chapter, or else you're just going to get behind and behind. So I found that this method really worked for me, especially if you've got a lot of things on your plate that you want to tackle. Step number 2 is to have time study sessions. So this is what people will say the Pomodoro method. You are just allocating specific amount of times, which I think is quite helpful, especially having an end time that is set before you even start your session, which means you can't mess around and you don't really have the time to procrastinate. Some people will recommend 25 minutes or 30-minute sessions. I think that an hour works really well for me, especially for med content, because there's so much to learn. So see what works for your study content. I've actually never found out about the Pomodoro method until it became mainstream. While I was in university, I was adopting a similar method, but I never had the app. So I always would bring a little alarm clock with me every time I went to the library, and it wouldn't ring or anything, but it's just that so I can see it ticking and set it for every hour. Also, it is so important to time your study session as early as possible. Do not delay it towards the end of the night for your studying session, because I just find that if you allow yourself to do one thing, for example procrastinate and scroll on the couch, then you allow yourself to say, oh, I've got another hour, I can push back my sleeping time, and that is just not healthy. And the beauty of setting your study session towards the start of the evening is that you can actually set something up afterwards to reward yourself. For example, you buy a bit of dessert that you can have after you finish studying, or you can say, okay, look, after I finish this chapter, I'm allowed to watch 30 minutes of my favorite show, or 1 episode of whatever show you wanted to watch. So I'm having that reward system to motivate yourself to get studying. Step number 3 is to find someone accountable. So like I said, it's all about beating the feeling of, oh, I can't be bothered, or drowning in this self-pityness of, I'm too tired after having a super long day, a really long week. So if you can't get yourself off your ass, what do? Well, you find someone else who can. So find a very accountable study buddy or gym buddy, depending on what your goal is. Preferably someone who is responsible, someone's pretty onto it, and they're not gonna, feed into the whole let's procrastinate together and study tomorrow sort of mindset. And if you're no longer in college or, in the uni student school scene like I am, you can definitely be able to motivate yourself by looking at study with me videos. And I've got a couple that I've actually filmed, and I'll link it in the description below. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this, but I really believe that having a comfortable chair and having your textbook or your computer laptop at eye level is so important, and being in the right temperature, being in the right outfit and whatnot actually really help with your studying. Like, trust me, I used to dress up, put lots of makeup on. I mean, just not a lot of makeup, but put on makeup to get to the library so that I can impress other people while I'm studying, because I'm looking like my A game. But that actually was so uncomfortable, and I felt like I keep having to adjust my clothing, and then that distracts you from actually what you need to be focusing on. And if none of these hacks are working for you, then you need to stay tuned for this last hack. It works for me 100% of the time, and I can get straight into my flow state whenever I use this method. Right, step number 5 is to remove all distractions and possibility of procrastination. I truly believe, hands down, this is the sole method really that got me through pre-med and got me where I am. What I did when I was in university studying to get into med school is I would always never bring my phone with me when I go and study. Like, I'd go into the library and then I'd leave my phone in my room so that I actually don't turn on my phone for 15 hours straight. So I would only check my phone just before I sleep. Warning to you though, it's not very healthy for a relationship if you have someone particularly clingy. If it's not your phone, then find what really distracts you. If you found that you put away your phone, but you're still scrolling on your laptop. So make sure that you find things that block your social media so then you're not getting distracted. So you need to be proactive in doing those things. So those were the 5 steps that literally carried me through med school and got me to where I am today. And till this day, I'm still using these techniques to make sure that I get into flow state as soon as I get back from a long day of work to get the things that I want done. Like I said, it's really all about controlling your external factors, making your environment as welcoming as possible for you to become motivated. And it maximizes your chance of being productive after a really long day. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you thought that these tips were helpful and what you do for yourself to become productive after a long day. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. See you later.